from the nooks and crannies of this nation. OSBC brings you the news. News across the country.
Good evening and welcome to the news across the country. King Charles V officially installed at a colourful ceremony in the UK. Osun Governor releases over 100 million naira for Osun Cares payments. OSBC Entertainment News focuses on a prominent Yoruba traditional marriage rites, Ekun Iyawo. Police begins investigation into landlord's decomposed body in Oyo. With a trumpet fanfare and gun salute, Charles III was officially proclaimed king at a pomp-filled ceremony today, at which he pledged to emulate his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, and serve for the rest of his life. A court official wearing a feathered bicon hat declared Charles the only lawful and rightful monarch from the balcony of St. James Palace after a historic accession council meeting of senior royals, clergy, and government officials. Details of the report is presented by Adeni Kendi.
The 3-year-old Charles, Queen Elizabeth II's eldest son, automatically became the king after his mother's death, and traditionally an accession council has been convened in honor of the sovereign deaths of Queen Elizabeth II. The Accession Council, which was made up of senior cabinet ministers, judges and leaders of the Church of England, met at the state apartment of St. James Palace in London and formally proclaimed Charles as the new sovereign king. At the council, the king then made a personal declaration about the death of Queen Elizabeth II and made an oath to preserve the Church of Scotland, because in Scotland there is a division of powers between church and the state. Among those attended was Charles' wife of 17 years, Camilla, who now has the title of Queen's Consort, and the king's son, William, the new Prince of Wales. A second proclamation was read in the city of London at the Royal Exchange, while further proclamations will be read in Scotland, North Ireland, and Wales tomorrow afternoon. The Accession Council took place before the meeting of the Parliament, and Parliament is also expected to meet as soon as practicable after the death of a sovereign monarch. Later in the day, Parliament will hold a second day of tribute to the Queen. King Charles pledged to follow his mother's footsteps during her 70-year reign as monarch.
Queen Elizabeth was a life well lived, a promise with destiny kept, and she is mourned most deeply in her passing. That promise of lifelong service I renew to you all today.
In addition to being the King of United Kingdom UK, King Charles III also became the head of state of more than 12 other independent countries that were once British colonies. Kehinde Adeniyi, reporting for OSBC News.
Meanwhile, King Charles III has approved an order that the day of the Queen's funeral will be a bank holiday. The date of the funeral has not been announced, but information has it that it may be held on Monday, September 19, at the end of the 10-day period of mourning. The new monarch confirmed the public holiday during his accession ceremony, at which he was officially proclaimed as the new monarch. In the meantime, following the official announcement of the Queen's death by Buckingham Palace on Thursday, tributes have been pouring in for the late monarch from across the globe. President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria has described late Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom as a leader who dedicated her life to the betterment of our nation and the entire world. Residents of Osun State were not left out as people showered in commune on the longest reigning monarch. Comrades Adebukola Adeleke from Ede, Dr. Soji Akinpelu Osogbo, Comrade Oyelade from Iragwiji and Mr. Michael Odeyemi from Ukebale Oshubu have this to say about her.
The loss of the longest monarch in the history of Queen Elizabeth, we see what the law. God grant her eternal rest. May God be with us. God bless England. God bless UK. God bless Nigeria. Good morning.
Thank the Lord for the life of Queen Elizabeth of England. I wish to commiserate with the British Empire on the death of Queen Elizabeth II. God will be with them and will be with Nigeria.
In the meantime, the federal government has ordered that all flags in the country and missions abroad be flown at half-mast tomorrow and Monday to honor the death of Queen Elizabeth II. The Minister of Interior, Mr. Rolf Arigbeshola, made this known in a statement in Abuja. Reports have it that the death of Queen Elizabeth II was announced on Thursday. She was the Queen of the UK and the other Commonwealth realms from February 6, 1952 until her death on Thursday. A reign of 70 years and 214 days was the longest of any British monarch and the second longest recorded of any monarch of a sovereign country. President Muhammadu Buhari has announced the inauguration of a presidential committee of the national economy to look into issues causing the decline of crude production. President Buhari disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja. He also noted that producing at about half the OPEC quota has deprived Nigeria of much-needed revenue and foreign exchange. The Minister of State for Health, Dr. Joseph Ekumankama, has said the federal government will shut down unregistered medical laboratories in the country. This is coming to the fore as he charged the management and staff of the Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria not to relent or rest on their horse and the discharge of their statutory duties. Mr. Ekumankana said this advice when members of the council led by the registrar, Dr. Tosan Ehabo, paid him a courtesy visit at the Ministry of Health headquarters in Abuja. In a statement made available by the Ministry of Health today by the Director of Press, Ahmed Chindaya, the minister noted that policies will be formulated to ensure smooth running of the council. Osun State Governor Mr. Adegboyega Otola has released a sum of 102,410,000 naira for the payments of state social transfers and labor-intensive public workfare beneficiaries delivery platform of Osun COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus. This is contained in the approval of Mr. Governor through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. The money is for the payments of stipends of the vulnerable aged and youths across the state, while the sum of 58,520,000 naira was approved by the July-August bi-monthly stipend of the beneficiaries. Another 43,890 naira was also approved for the payments of July, August, and September stipends of the labor-intensive public welfare beneficiaries. The list of the beneficiaries is available at the headquarters of Labor-Intensive Public Welfare and State Social Transfers Delivery Platform of Osun Care's domicile and the State Ministry of Youth and Sport. Also, the list has also been sent to all the local government areas and area office through the designated community development officers. While each of social transfers beneficiaries is entitled to 20,000 naira on bi-monthly basis, the labor-intensive public welfare, on the other hand, is entitled to 10,000 naira each monthly upon the completion of their public works within their communities. The payment is in consonance with the promise of Governor Adegboyega Otola's continuous priority of welfare of the people of the state and the scheme of things of his governance. The state chapter of the People's Democratic Party has described the party as peace-loving. Osun State chapter of the All Progressives Congress (APC) has urged all security agencies in the state to quickly unravel alleged and coordinated plans by the People's Democratic Party to plunge the state into chaos. In a statement by its chairman, Prince Adegboyega Famudu, the All Progressives Congress alleged that it had uncovered plans by the PDP to attack some of its members, particularly its witnesses who were to appear before the tribunal. Prince Famodu hinted further that People's Democratic Party allegedly had another grand plan to unleash attacks on its members with a view to disrupting the local government elections scheduled for next month. The All Progressives Congress recalled the reported killing of some of people after the July 16th governorship elections was concluded, stressing that the state cannot afford to witness more bloodshed. It therefore called on recognized security agencies to name the alleged plan of the People's Democratic Party in the board to prevent loss of lives and property. In the meantime, the state chapter of the People's Democratic Party has described the party as peace-loving and can never plan to destabilize the state. The state caretaker chairman of the party, Dr. Akintunde Akindele, had in a response to APC's claim of planned attacks on its members by the PDP, clarified that the PDP, which enjoyed people's support before and after the governorship election and has continued to enjoy same, cannot afford to betray people's trust by causing chaos. It urges people to disregard the APC's alleged claims of planned attacks by the PDP, stressing that Osun will continue to be secure and safe. Ahead of 2023 general election, our religious leaders, Special Apostle Abat Kaji Hausa, has advised Nigerians to pray fervently for the country in order to witness free, fair, credible, and acceptable poll, as he charged INEC to be impartial. Special Apostle Kaji Hausa gave the admonition while exchanging views with OSBC News correspondent Femi Fadiji in Offa, Kwara State. The cleric enjoined those who engaged in corrupt practices, economic sabotage, and kidnapping, among other vices, to have a change of heart. The spiritual father Kaji Hausa has therefore implored the citizenry to be determined and give peace a chance in all ramification. This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Ilawiye Okebalo Osogbo, Voice of the West. Now, our mid-news message. Life is a mixture of ups and downs, but the way you handle them makes a difference. Learn to move with time. OSBC Entertainment News segment today chronicles Yoruba traditional marriage rite, otherwise known as Ekun Iyawo Lolade Olu Ojengbeje, is her guide.
In Nigeria, particularly among Yorubas, marriage is beyond the union of a man and woman. It extends to the fusion of the families of the individuals. Kun Iyawo, translated Cry of the Bride, is the traditional poetry with which the young bride bids her family farewell as she departs to her husband's house. Ekun Iyawo indicates that the bride is sad about leaving her parents, friends, and families to her new home. After the wedding celebration, the new bride is escorted to her husband's house by parents, family, and friends, with the marriage ritual song called Ekun Iyawo. During the Ekun Iyawo, the bride chants the praises of her father and mother. She expresses anxiety and hope over her journey into marriage while also celebrating her coming of age. When the bride arrives at her new home, she is prayed for and her feet are washed at the doorstep. This act is believed to wash away every bad luck she might have brought into her husband's house. Today, Ekun Iyawo rights seem to have become extinct. In an interview with OSBC's Entertainment News, Mr. Oluwafemi highlights the relevance of Ekun Iyawo in today's society. He says Ekun Iyawo is one of the cultural heritage in Yoruba land that shows that the lady does not want to leave her parents' house, but sadly, the heritage is lost today.
Ekun Iyawo is one of the cultural heritages in Yoruba land. In those days, a young lady does not want to leave her parents' house because, they have been so attached since birth. But today we have lost it. The moment a lady gains admission into the university, you see some of them doing the bridal duties in their boyfriend's kitchen. And that is why on their wedding day, some of them will not even shed a tear because they had already been married before the wedding ceremony.
All said and done, custodians of Yoruba culture believe that the traditional marriage rite of Ekun Iyawo must not be abandoned to extinction. It must also not be allowed to disappear into urbanization. Lolade Olu Ojegbeje for OSBC Entertainment News.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan has advocated an anti-corruption law to stop illicit financial flows funding insecurity in Nigeria. Senator Lawan said the fight against corruption and insecurity in the nation requires the cooperation and support of all the citizens and not institutions of government alone. He spoke while declaring open a national policy dialogue on corruption and insecurity in the country, organized by an independent corrupt practices and other related offences commission in Abuja. The National Assembly, while looking into the possibility of unmasking the perpetrators of insecurity in Nigeria, realized the need for an anti-corruption law to stop illicit financial flows suspected to be funding routes for insecurity in the country. The Senate President noted that corruption had contributed to the underdevelopment of Nigeria and effort must be made to curb it. Also speaking at the occasion, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lucky Irabo, attributed insecurity to corruption and assured of the armed forces' support in tackling it. Irabo called on non-governmental organizations and civil society organizations to join the anti-corruption crusade through the enlightenment. The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Professor Bolaji Owansanye, has disclosed that an ex-military chief embezzled 4 billion naira from military budgets and deposited it into the account of 2 companies where he is the beneficial owner and sole signatory. Professor Owansanye made the disclosure during a national policy dialogue on corruption and insecurity in Nigeria organized by the ICPC in Abuja. According to him, the stolen funds were used to purchase properties in Abuja in the names of cronies and proxies of the military chief, adding that some of the properties paid for by his service were also fraudulently converted to his use. The ICPC board highlighted another 4 cases being handled by the commission, stating that some civil servants in line ministry transferred about 1 billion naira to 4 shell companies. Professor Owansanye noted that about 220 million naira cash has been recovered and that investigations are still ongoing. Operatives of the Nigerian Police Force in Zamfara State have arrested a notorious criminal gang leader in the state. Confirming the development to newsmen in Guzo, the police command spokesman Alhaji Muhammad Shehu said a terrorist who is simply identified as Alhaji Bello was apprehended when his gang were trying to attack communities in the Onka and Bukom local government area of the state. Information has it that Alhaji Bello and his syndicates are specialized in smashing vehicles to steal money. Items recovered showing their arrest are said to include 2 AK-47 rifles, 2 fabricated guns, and 236 pieces of 7.62 mm live ammunition and cash. Alhaji Shehu explained that the police chased after the notorious criminal gang following a signal they received about their planned operation in Zamfara communities. The Zamfara Police Command says it has dislodged some bandits in the state. Oyo State Police Command says the State Criminal Investigation Department is handling the investigation of the decomposing body of a landlord found in his bedroom at Awutan Akpete area of Ibadan. The decayed body of the deceased was found glued to his bedding lying upward. Residents of the community claimed that the deceased was last seen 4 years ago. It was also gathered that the late Abiola used to come to Ibadan occasionally from Abuja and does not relate with the neighbors. Commenting, the police public relations officer in Oyo State, SP Adewale Osifeso, said that the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Adebowale William, has deployed a team of crime and forensic detectives to the residence of the deceased. SP Osifeso said that the Commissioner of Police has also directed the immediate transfer of the case to the Command's Apex Investigation Body, the State Criminal Investigation Department, to ascertain the cause of his death. Said that the scene of the incident had since been condoned off, and in the interest of public health and safety, to enable the detective carry out comprehensive investigation aimed at identifying the possible cause of the death. He said that preliminary findings from residents of the community and the deceased driver's license found in his wallet revealed identity of the deceased as Adoremi Abiola. Retirement, Thanksgiving, and launching of a new album organized by family of Pastor Kehinde Ajibade, who bowed out of active service of Osun State government last month, holds tomorrow afternoon. A release by the celebrants indicates that the program will hold at NUJ Press Center, Iwo Ibadan Road, Osogbo. According to the release, Honorable Bamidele Salam is the chairman of the occasion, while Otumba Olushola Adekunla is the chief launcher of the new album titled Baba Gbawa, with Elder and Deaconess Isaac Olatunji as special guest of honor. The release enjoins friends, colleagues, and family members of Pastor Kehinde Ajibade to come and celebrate the veteran journalists who had contributed immensely to the growth of media profession in the States. Now to sport. With all indications, Saudi Arabia could submit a joint bid for the 2030 FIFA World Cup. Adeyemi Abodun has more sports updates.
Nigerian ping-ponger Quadri Haruna has broken the jinx to emerge as new African men champion by beating Egyptian Omar Assar in the finals of the Continental Tournament. Both players were not really tested at the ITTF African Senior Table Tennis Championship until the final, where both played their best match of the tournament. Haruna won the title in a comeback fashion, having been down 2-0 against the Egyptian and was on the verge of losing again when Assar was leading 3-1. But the Nigerian tenacity and prowess came to fore as he fought back to level at 3-3 and was leading in the final for the tie to go into 12-12. Good shots from the Nigerian were all it needed to conquer the Egyptian and claimed his first continental title since 2018. This win will surely shot up Haruna's ranking in the world, while Taiwo Mati performance will also help his rating in the world. Meanwhile, Bayelsa Queens have been handed a tough draw against defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa and Egypt's Wadi Degla in Group B of the 2022 CAF Women's Champions League. The draw, which was conducted on Friday, will see the 2022 Nigerian Women Football League champions rekindle the rivalry between Nigeria and South Africa in the women's game. The group, which also include Wadi Degla, the record-time winner of the Egyptian Women's Premier League, alongside a yet-to-be-decided representative from the Central African Football Federation's union. In the meantime, sprinter Toby Amusan is delighted to have made history as the first Nigerian to win a Diamond League trophy. The 24-year-old, who missed out on a medal table in the 100-meter hurdles at the Olympics in Tokyo, ran the race of her life to win her event, clocking 12.42 seconds to break the 23-year-old African record held by 2000 Olympic silver medalist Glory Alozie. The 2018 Commonwealth Games gold medalist described the feat as a great feeling. The Lanre Lake Sport Academy has recruited 42 young children in honor of the 78th birthday of ex-Super Eagles star Segun Odegbami. According to reliable sources, the plan is to catch them young and receive the best of training and expose the children to the global standard in the area of sports, which include football, basketball, and handball. Segun Odegbami described the event as one of the happiest days of his life. Saudi Arabia is reportedly set to announce a joint bid with Greece and Egypt to host the 2030 World Cup. The Gulf country will reportedly pay for at least some of the other two countries' cost. It will mean another break in the English Premier League and other top leagues around the world. Sport Update returns on Monday. My name is Adeyemi Abodere.
And to end the news across the country, here again are the major points. With a trumpet fanfare and gun salute, Charles III was officially proclaimed King of the United Kingdom at a pomp-filled ceremony today, and he pledged his commitment to emulate his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, and serve humanity for the rest of his life. Governor Adegboyega has released the sum of 102,410,000 naira for the payments of state social transfers and labor-intensive public welfare beneficiaries delivery platform of Osun COVID-19 action recovery and economic stimulus. OSBC Entertainment News segment today focused on the Yoruba traditional marriage rite, otherwise known as Ekunyawo. And from Oyo State Police Command comes the report that the State Criminal Investigation Department is on top of the investigation of the decomposed body of a landlord, engineer Adoremi Abiola, found in his bedroom at Awutan Apete area of Ibadan. And that was the news across the country, edited by Dini Kendi and delivered by Olushola Egbodofo. Thanks for listening. Good evening.